Pezza, just when you think it's going to be close, and then possibly the greatest home player in Test cricket history, Jadeja, just comes in and goes, this game ain't even close, boys. Don't even worry about it. India finished the day, what are they? They are 7 for 405, which means that they are, what are we looking at there, Pez? 175 runs in front on the first innings after bowling England out for 246 yesterday, as we covered. 3 wickets in hand, of course, at the crease. Jadeja is 81 red. Axar Patel, 35 not out, batting at 9. A man that averages 36 in Test cricket, batting at 9. Pezza, yesterday some guys were thinking, 246, that may be par. That may be par. Happy Republic Day to all those celebrating India. It was not par, Pezza. It wasn't par.
And look, maybe England will take positives from that. He goes, they're very good at taking positives. In this case, that there was 5 minutes of time when we thought this might be good. And let me tell you, having been in that position before as an Australian, it is a really good feeling for 5 minutes before it comes crashing down. England, notably famous for their positivity. I noted overnight, Ben Duckett spoke to BBC Sport, so this is before day 2. He said, we're very happy being bowled out for what we got. Hopefully we can take 2 or 3 wickets early and put them under pressure. We're in a strong position, regardless of them only being 1 down. Look, you can't fault, well, you can fault ridiculous positivity. But for me, I'm curious about the portent of this over a 5-test series. Because what I saw today was the architecture of a procession. And I don't know what England have in the arsenal. Let's be real. Bowlers get better. And we will speak about spinners. But it's mid at best, and it's 3s.
Yep.
And so we have India ahead by 175 cricket runs with a couple of wickets in the hutch and blokes at 9 who average 36. We've got another guy at the crease who averages 36 with the batting test and 24 with the ball. So we move on to the second test.
Yeah, Pezza, I feel like when you you're talking to the English cricketers more than anything. Now, let's be right. The moments that this current England team have given their fans have been fucking awesome. Okay. Let's get that right. Okay. But why does it feel like I'm talking to a real estate agent every single fucking time these guys are in the shit? It's like, there's no roof on this building. What a wonderful way to experience the stars. I'd rather be in our dressing room than fucking next door in the penthouse. Are you kidding me? I love this place. There's no flooring. The toilet doesn't work. Opportunities. These are opportunities for us to express ourselves in a shithole. Okay? The shithole being the position that they're in. I just feel like it's lies all the time. And if they say these things enough, they can convince themselves. But I feel like, yes, completely right. I am looking at a procession and I'm looking forward to the second test. But, Pezza, I'm also looking forward to Hell Energy Drink getting behind TGC for this. So, hell yeah! Hell Energy Drink getting behind TGC for this 5-test match series. It is the highest selling energy drink can in India. It's available in more than 60 countries across the globe. Globally, almost 40 variants. The newest variant is AI. Here's the tagline, Pezza. Gives you power like hell. Roll the clip, Charlie.
Did you think that the power that brought you here had given up on you? But when would you believe in yourself if not at the finish line? Why hit the brakes when there's still fuel in the tank? Because the power that brought you here is still in you. All you need is a little spark to go like hell. Hell Energy.
I think my favourite bit is yelling out, roll the clip, Charlie.
And my least favourite bit is when he said variant, because it's only been a couple of years. But nevertheless. Is this the drink that was made by AI, you said?
Yeah.
Love to learn more about that.
Although at the same time, kind of not. But like variants, all have been man-made. Anyway, Pez, let's get into the first of the three things.
Oh, well, it was a good run. Hey, look, India pile it on. It's just another day of Test cricket in India where the batters pile it on. Okay, I've got my complaints. I don't see three figures next to anyone. Now, once you start getting to that level of complaint, Indian viewers, that's a compliment in Australian terms. So, everyone scores runs. There's partnerships galore. The score's ticking over. It's more Bazball than Bazball. Threes mid spinners are getting booged everywhere. I just need someone to convert. Now that guy may well be Jadeja, and then that will work. That means if Jadeja goes to three figures, if he can get there, then the rest of the scorecard looks really nice. In kind of I guess as like to buttress what Jadeja will have done. But until that point, indeed, Glenn Buttress, North Queensland Cowboys. Now, wow. But as it stands, it looks like, all the batters pretty much got in. They all turned over the spinners and went to work. Some of them made mistakes. Others got run out. India finds itself just well ahead, and England has no answers. There are no funky fielding positions or hands on the back of spinners to show performative support that are really going to get the job done.
We'll talk about England spinners in a moment, but just in terms of trying to find the wins, I noticed that Joe Root did the bail thing that Stuart Broad did at one point. He moved the bails over again, just trying to create a seance environment to try and conjure up some wickets, maybe just contact some spirits, the ghost of girlfriends past, perhaps. I'm not sure. He's just looking for something. Aren't we all? Aren't we all just looking for something? But there was also some little wins there as well. Like Shreyas Iyer came out to bat in a cap, and then they thought, you know what? Mark Wood's going to come on and bump the shit out of you. Didn't work. He made 35 pretty comfortably in the end. But you know what? Actually on Shreyas, Shreyas is not really the story of the game because Jaiswal was electric yesterday. KL Rahul scored a great 100. Was it in Cape Town he scored the 100?
Yeah,
it was one of the two tests.
First test, sensational. And a losing side too.
Of course, so very satisfying for him in the dressing room afterwards. Where were the rest of you boys? But so he makes 86.
Boys.
KS Barra contributes with 41 as well. And as you said, Jadeja currently is on 81 red. But Shreyas Iyer is a guy that he's in the side definitely because Virat isn't there. And he gets 35, and it's fucking so brutal in India where, over time, they've produced some sticks, haven't they? They really have produced some good batters over time. And so when they get an opportunity, and he's been given a couple of chances, it's like, fucking hell, man, you're 35 in a big test series. That's the one. That's a missed opportunity for him. But,
they like him.
It won't matter.
They like him. He's dynamic. He's got the tools. He's got the weaponry. This is a greatism, but he just gets out. Do you know those players that get out? A lot of autists will be hearing that going, everyone gets out. Even Bradman, his average was 99.94, then he would get out. There are batters who are really good, but they get out more than they should or earlier than they should. I just feel like that's where Shreyas is at the moment. I still think that the record, the numbers are good. It'll happen for him, but he does seem to that sense of run gluttony and the run making element of his game just doesn't seem to be quite there at the moment. You'd still rather be a guy with the tools and the weaponry, and all you got to learn is just how to use it. You'd rather have it and then learn how to use it than not have it at all and have to conjure something, a seance, if you will, just to get the result that you want. Over and over. But he has it. He's just got to learn how to make it work.
Can we move on to the second thing and talk about Jadeja especially? I mean, I did pose the question somewhat sarcastically, but he at home is just the most complete player. He is. The bowling is obviously unbelievable and the surfaces suit his bowling. His fielding is spectacular. He is definitely in the top 3 best fielders in the world, if not the best. And then the batting, he scored, is it, I just saw a stat, it's since 2019, I think it is, he's averaged 44 with the bat. And so he's batting at 6 now, ahead of the wicketkeeper. And it's just, I mean, I'd like to see the numbers at home, but it's a guy that like no other player has like anywhere else in their home conditions. You know, like I can't think of another player even in my lifetime that's as good as Jadeja is in India, at home. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. He's indomitable and irrepressible in home conditions. I can scarcely think of a game where, like a match in any series, where oppositions have managed to blunt him across all disciplines. And this is, I mean, generally speaking, like general publics don't, they expect way too much from all-rounders. It's almost like the name gives it away. It's like, oh, you're expected to perform at world-class level for every discipline. And it turns out that, like, nobody really can ever do that. And we all underrate, we all think that they've failed, but Jadeja actually lives up to that at home in India. And look, I do think he leads with the ball before the bat, but 20 50s and 3 Test hundreds, I think, possibly soon to be 4. He's starting to amass some seriously competitive numbers to the greatest all-rounders that have existed in the game. And the fact that he does it as a spinner, I think, makes it kind of sexier as well, but that's just a personal proclivity. And yeah, and then the fielding on top of that, he really is just unstoppable at home. In all disciplines.
And then just on top of that, KL Rahul, who's a guy that not that long ago was sort of right on the edge of the side. Then he came in to open the batting, maybe to replace, maybe was it Agarwal, maybe? I forget who he was coming to replace. And he did a job opening the batting, scored some runs the last time they were in South Africa as well.
Yeah.
He must have a pretty good record there. And now struggled in like a different format, maybe in the T20 or the ODI format, but then comes back and then does really well. And now, like his test match form, he's probably been their most consistent batter over the last, let's call it 12 months. I feel like that's right anyway. So fuck, I mean, it's I'm not sure when Kohli is going to come back. If he is going to come back into the 3rd Test squad, I guess we'll find out as time develops. But KL Rahul, he's doing the business.
Yeah, and a guy that has to overcome, it seems like a lack of popularity in India, perhaps compared to some of his contemporaries. But as you mentioned, I think in the last 6 months he's performed a number of rescue jobs for India. He can slot in anywhere in the order, from opening bat to the middle order, down to number 6. Today, when he came into bat, India would have wobbled if he had failed, and he didn't. He goes, what was it? He makes 80 or something like that.
Yes,
and
86 off 123.
He can wicket keep for his team when they need him. Though it would be difficult and challenging in Test matches, he could do that. He can step in as a leader or captain when they need to as well. He doesn't seem to ruffle feathers. He seems to be a wildly personable and agreeable, guy. From afar anyway, a Red Bull athlete, and we've sort of worked with them as well, so that's probably inappropriate to mention that on this video, but nevertheless, yeah, I just shout out to KL Rahul. He's done the business again in a manner that won't go up on the posters on people's walls because print's gone out of business, but you got to shout him out.
Yeah, it could be like a montage, some sort of video on like a digital photo frame, just sort of cycling through your house. Is that KL Rahul? Are you related? No, I just like him. That's sort of the new age poster. I feel like now that it's a death of print.
Before we get to the third thing, he goes, "Did you catch the run out?"
Yeah. Glorious.
Yeah. Look, I had the sound down, so I'm actually coming in naked and raw on this. The way I see it is, it's like a car crash. Both guys fuck up with this. Very bad calling and sort of casual running. It's Ashwin's call. It's notionally a yes. I believe that Jadeja can make his ground if he commits to Ashwin's call, but he's watching the ball. If Jadeja goes when Ashwin goes, he makes it. Jadeja takes a look at it, though, and goes, not that into it, and I've changed my mind now. Sorry. And by that stage, Ashwin's like, well, that you've really burnt me there. But I think Ashwin could also think to himself, like, he was loping down the wicket without a level of intent I would have liked. We're not talking about loud calls there. You're looking at two guys ball watching, but I think Jadeja's done the coat thing. That's what I've seen. Now I'm not, that's before you go into the broader questions over, popularity, but that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, so the thing is, though, Pezza, it is funnier that Ashwin's involved in it. Now,
Totally.
Depending on what side of the fence you sit with that, what percentage is it funnier because Ashwin is in it? And the answer is it's not zero. It's not 0% funnier.
Yeah.
It's on a scale of so where do you sit with that? You know what I mean?
And you know that something, that you've had a little run out dynamic involving selfishness when you get the remaining batter sliding their bat into the crease. So because Ashwin's over his left shoulder, Jadeja, when the ball's coming from the other side. Jadeja does put his bat out knowing that Ashwin's coming. You can hear the big old footsteps of the warhorse coming down the crease there. And he's got plenty of time, Jadeja, but he just makes sure. Now, we will be informed by the, more the superior knowledge commenters in there that Jadeja was the senior partner on more runs, so he's actually doing the right thing for the team. And I think that's what Ashwin was saying to him once Jadeja slid his bat in to beat Ashwin into the non-strikers. And I think Ashwin had a few words to him. I could hear him. He was saying, "Thanks for doing that. You're the senior partner. That was the team play, and I'm very happy to walk off in those circumstances." And
I was just about to retire myself anyway.
Indeed. So, look. Happy to have a little bit of calamity on a day where really we were just watching the anatomy of a processional Indian victory on, and I'd like to say this, Republic Day, and a happy Republic Day to all Indians watching.
Okay, we'll get into the third thing. We'll talk about England's spinners. Just when we're doing the preview, Pezza, I was again, semi sarcastic, I suppose, or just fucking around in terms of in a fantasy mode of how do we get all the best, the biggest point scorers for my perfect fantasy team, which is a normal thing to have in your life. And I was like, oh, how do you get Dan Lawrence in the team? Because I just think Joe Root's going to be their best or second best spinner. And I guess the point of me saying that is I was right. I feel for Tom Hartley, who does come back and takes 2 wickets. He gets Shubman Gill, who played a weird innings.
Shubman Gill looks unders to me at the moment. So I just want to say, he's lacking fluency. That happens to people. It's okay. It's not a criticism. It happens in cricket. He's a gun. But he was unable to score at the rate that other guys were scoring at. I did see someone pointed out on Reddit that KL Rahul was batting at a higher strike rate in a test match than he was in the World Cup final when he went at 61. To drop it in there. But Shubman looks unders at the moment. So anyway, well done. Yeah. Tom Hartley capitalised.
Yeah, so Tom Hartley, obviously in India, and we've seen this before with left arm spinners, especially from an Australian perspective with Koonman coming in and bowling really well. And you need that sort of tall left arm spinner to get it into the deck. Jadeja's not tall, but he's just so skilled. Axar Patel is sort of the equivalent that I'm talking about there in that mould. And it hasn't worked out for Tom Hartley just for whatever reason. I don't think it's because he's not ready necessarily, but it just hasn't worked out in this game. Rian Ahmed's an interesting one where wrist spin just doesn't seem to work in India.
It's not quick enough, mate. You got to bowl 95k in India.
It's got to get into the deck.
You got to fire it into the deck, and when you're coming over the wrist, it's just there's too much to do. There's too much the ball. There's too much action required from the ball. The to-do list is too much, and by the time that it gets through its to-do list, the feet are there from the Indian masters, to smother it. I still think I think Rian Ahmed looks like a bowler who could be good to me, but it's not tight enough for the purposes of winning a game right now. But what do you say? He'll be better for the run. He looks bulky. He looks like he looks like he's got the weapons to me as well.
Yeah. And then Liam Dawson's had just a sensational test match for the guy not being picked because he went to the SA20. But his county record, 46 wickets, 48 wickets in the county championship this year, averaging 20. Different conditions, and he's more over the top anyway. But I just don't think they necessarily have the weapons, but just because India is just a better team, especially in India. There's no shame in losing it, but you just when you see how far away England look, despite trying to play their attacking cricket, I think it just highlights how fucking good India are. They even how England batted, they end up slowing right down to sort of 3-ish and over, didn't they? By the end, despite trying to progress the game along, the bowling is just so relentless. And then when you look at England do it, they just don't have they just don't have the cattle. And then I look at Joe Root. Joe Root fucking gets it into the deck, and that's why he's effective. And then Leach is a serviceable Test match bowler. So I'm just trying to think who was in the squad that could actually add value to the lineup.
It's very clear, man.
I was like,
well, no, it's very clear. I mean, you say the Indian team's good. The visa immigration team's good as well. Shoaib Bashir's become one of the best spinners England's produced in the last couple of days, and he's got. He's already turning up to the second test. He's going straight into the team, and I think hats off to the visa team in India as well, because Shoaib, I think
more of a MasterCard guy myself.
Shoaib Bashir's watching the test, saying hats off to the visa team as well, because I'm looking $1 million now.
Those boys have actually just given me a test cap.
That's right.
They picked me.
Apparently they said to at home immigration in Britain, they said you will thank me later. Believe me, I've seen the deck at Hyderabad. It's not for you. Seriously, save yourself. He's going, not bad. Should we move into hashtag AskTGC? I'm coming in blind here. He goes. I put this out. Put this out on Twitter. Nick Elliott's written in. Geez, I should read these. Any Pakistani heritage lurking in Tom Hartley's family history? Double check.
Fucking hell.
Okay, wait, next. Omkar Kamarpant writes in, if I've got his name wrong, his handle is OddGuy27. And he said, there's definitely some weird but smart tech with BCCI. The ball was turning square on day one and hardly any on day two. Smelling a pitch swap. Thoughts? Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've actually seen that. We've seen this many times. I mean, they just happened to get that wrong in the World Cup final, where they switched the pitch again at halftime.
By the way, I should say for anyone who wants to, who's wondering why we haven't mentioned Australia's disgusting display today, tune in to the other video that we're about to do, featuring Woke Trick Cummins, I should say, and his merry band of men on our sacred day. Invasion Day. Yeah, so, anyway, what's worse as an opposition while bowling? He goes, a number 9 who is part Cummins or Axar Patel. A couple of good number 9s knocking around at the moment.
Something to think about. Get in your hashtag AskTGC into the comments below. We'll read them out tomorrow. And indeed the next day, or for how many days are left in this test match. But there'll be many more in this test series without a question. Pezza, we're looking at tomorrow. Genuinely, the game could be over tomorrow, such as India's lead at the moment.
Totally.
Don't think the pitch was really breaking up that much. It sort of stayed the same as what it did on day one. Yeah, it
was doing enough.
What's the lead? 175. They may well already have enough. But this game has definitely gone and has escaped everyone. But if you want to tune in to see some fireworks, have a look at the next video that we put out for, is the Gabba being breached again? Has it happened again? Or are we just watching a good cricket game? Either way, no one's happy. See you guys on the internet very soon or tomorrow. Cheers.